Today's reaction is Love by Chris R. So like and link to the video will be the description below. Go in second out. So let's into this reaction in 3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody, my name is Chris and today I want to talk about something that's very important to me and I think one of the most important, if not the most important thing in this life, which
Yeah,
is love. So
love. Yeah,
for me particularly, romantic love, I think having that special bond and finding a person you can share your life with and live and travel and do whatever it is that you're passionate about with and build something with, I think is just
yeah,
the whole point and reason why we're here.
yeah,
But just love as a whole, towards friends, towards others, just being kind and being friendly and helping, lending a helping hand, and just always creating that positivity and just that eradicating that type of love off of you. People can feel that, and just always being in that state. I think that's just the whole point of why we're here to live, to experience, but also to love. And
yeah.
I'll speak particularly for me.
True.
I think romantic love is just the most amazing thing that this world has to offer. I think there's nothing really that is more important to it. There's been points in my life where it has been, something that I value deeply, but then things like work would kind of come in the way, where it would kind of blur the line with. But
Yeah,
getting older in my life and kind of starting to see more things and experiencing different things and different cultures and a lot of different things in life, I think for me, I found that there's nothing more important than love at the end of the day. There's no amount of money that you can make that's gonna be able to fill that void of having someone there to care for you through the good and the bad, to do life with, and just someone that you really feel like you connect on that deep level with, and you can feel like is your soulmate and was put on this earth just for you. There's no amount of money, there's no amount of accomplishments, achievements, there's no amount of cars or nice watches that could ever replace that feeling. For me, and I think for a lot of people deep down, there's honestly nothing that can really top it at the end of the day. There's no amount of money that will be able to save you at the end of the day if your health diminishes. It's not going to sit by your bed with you. It's not going to experience life with you, and it's not going to be able to do all these things and create this emotion for you besides a quick little dopamine hit of getting this accomplishment and feeling okay, it's cool. But then it slowly kind of fades away, and then if you're just doing that and it's just you accomplishing these things, even if you're making tons and tons of money, it's just gonna be empty. It'll feel great
yeah,
for a second, but then it'll kind of deplete. When you have that real love, that person, that not only romantic love, but also friends, particularly for me, romantic love, but having a group of friends that you can go do things with, you can talk to when you're going through tough times, you can experience great things with, to travel with, to do life with as well. I think it's just the whole point. There's nothing that really tops that, and I've been at both ends of the cycle, and I've experienced both, and from my experience, there's just it's uncomparable. I just no amount of accomplishment would have ever been worth trading a memory that I had with one of my friends, or
yeah.
some type
True.
of romantic experience. Like there's no amount of money or a car that I would have think like, wow, this is so much more valuable to me than that. Or traveling the world or doing these really wholesome things that are just more genuine, and you can realize once you start doing these things how little we actually really need.
Yeah,
Obviously we need money for food and for my case, traveling and living and doing some fun stuff like that, but once you start doing those things and really be genuine, authentic, and just focus on love and not material and all the other just things that don't matter, you realize how little we really need to really be happy and to enjoy this life.
yeah,
Once you get enough to take care of yourself, to if you like to travel, to do stuff like that, you don't need the fancy cars and the big houses, and if you like those things, that's amazing, and I'm not trying to shame that at all, because that is a great thing if that's really what you're passionate about. But for me, from my experience, chasing those things, once you get them, it's going to be a very big hit of dopamine, and it's awesome, and then it slowly fades, and then it's just a thing. With people, it's always just there. They're always there. It's just you get to experience them, and it's not always great. You have your ups and downs, and especially relationships, you're gonna have ups and downs, and friendships too. You're gonna experience the whole field of everything. But that's the whole point: is to be able to share and to love and to be a part of this world and to do this journey with somebody, with a good group of people who mean everything to you, and one person that just isn't irreplaceable. And for that, I think there's nothing that is more important to that. Everyone's free to their opinion, but
Yeah.
for me, that's the end game. Finding a person you could build a life with,
Yeah.
creating a family with them, having good people around you who support you in what you do, and through your mistakes and your ups and your downs are there for you, and you get through that life together, and you help them as well, and you go and just live life, and you make life a little less complicated and a little bit easier for everybody. And you realize once you start doing those things how much we really complicate life, how much
Yeah.
we blur the line when we think about what is the point of being here. We think it's all these, oh, well,
True.
am I here to find this great career, to be somebody? And that's what I thought for so long, that I needed to be somebody, to prove
Yeah.
myself, to prove my existence, to allow myself to a reason why I'm supposed to be here. And
Yeah.
I don't need any of that. Nobody else does. You're here, and that's enough. You are good enough to be here. You are plenty. That doesn't mean to work and improve yourself, but you don't need to prove your existence. You're here, and you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of a great life that you've always wanted to live, whatever that means for you. For me, I love to experience new cultures and just be alive and experience this thing. Adrenaline activities for me, like I'm gonna do some skydiving soon with one of my buddies, and just being alive and really having those deeper connections with people and just experiencing love is for me the most important thing in this life. Just having someone you can really share your life with and
Yeah.
create something great with, and just do all the ups and downs of life and just have that. I think that's something that deep down everyone wants. It's 100% what I want. I have zero problem saying that. It is 100% the most important thing to me. And everything I do in my life at this point is working towards that, is focused for that, is aimed for that, is having that at the centerpiece. And it wasn't like that for a good bit of my life, just because I was very unguided, and I didn't really know what things to value, what to do with this and this situation. I didn't know these things. I didn't really ever have much of a guidance, growing up. I always thought I had to do things on my own, so I'd always try to figure things out on my own, so I'd make it much more difficult, and I'd screw a lot of things up
Really?
that I didn't need to, because I thought I would have to just figure it out instead of just asking for help, because I was
Yeah.
always scared to ask for help. So for me,
I can follow up. Can be good. Yeah. Always try to ask for up. Always try. Yeah. Because you never know when you need up. Yeah.
love love is just the whole point. It's the whole point why we're here,
Yeah.
especially romantic love. There's nothing more beautiful than that to me. There's nothing that's worth it more in this life than that. If there's one thing to sacrifice everything for, it would be love.
Yeah.
It's the one thing for me that could make me change anything in my life, to reroute whatever it is, to completely 180 anything in my life. And that's the reason why I've completely switched my path in life. You've seen this, you follow this channel the last couple of months, I've gone completely different direction, and it's stemmed from love. It's all been from that. That was the driving force behind it all. It's the one thing in my life that's always gotten me to change. It's always gotten me out of my ways when I get too deep into them, and it's always been that. And for me, there's nothing that matters more to it in this life than love. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Appreciate you guys all for coming. Remember to live for the now. This
Yeah.
life
Live
is
one.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Love as much as you can.
Yeah.
As positive
True
as you
that.
can.
Yeah.
enjoy your life. You are worthy of love, and you are worthy of being here. You are good enough just being you. Trust me. People say you're not, they're lying. It's just,
Yeah.
you are good enough.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Literally, you're
Catch you guys
good
in the next one.
enough. Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace. Yeah. To them. Yeah. That was Love by Chris Out. That link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. And drop a like if you like. And comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new. And click the bell so you can be notified when I upload in my bye. Wow.